Remember how I was positive in last week's video? Well, this week's video is the complete opposite. Now, I just want to say, if you're wondering why the video footage is like this, well, it's because I've been having copyright problems, and I just want to say that it's so annoying that you put your work into the video. I mean, yeah, it's basically just sitting on your phone with CapCut open, trying to, get all the footage, all the voices all lined up, and just to have it copyrighted. It's a massive blow to me because it absolutely just sucks. So if you see the races in different filters, I'm trying whatever I can to avoid this copyright problem because it is so annoying having to put up with that. But with that out of the way, I'm tired of being negative about things that have absolutely nothing to do with paint schemes, because NASCAR paint schemes this year have been kind of on a downward spiral. I'll admit that, because there are just some schemes that just have some of the stupidest designs that I've ever seen on a car that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it made me really appreciate simple and basic schemes. I know, yes, Denny Hamlin's Brake Plus car wasn't, the most exciting car, but at the very least, it stopped us from having, something like this. Ew. I don't like it. I don't like that design, but I do have to say, this is not me, attacking any designer. Designing paint schemes is hard enough work, and I say this as a person that makes NASCAR paint schemes, not to necessarily run NASCAR paint schemes. I just make paint schemes just to better my artistic skills, but I know the work and patience that is needed for every single paint scheme, and I completely understand that. But with that out of the way, I just want to go over some of the 10 worst paint schemes of 2024. The same rules apply as last week's video, no throwback paint schemes, and any of the top 3 series is eligible. So to start off this video, I have Daniel Suarez's Wendy's car that he ran at the season opening race at Daytona. Now, the reason why I have this car on the list is because the Wendy's schemes have been honestly hit or miss. Like, I almost put SVG's Talladega car on this list, but at the very least, it's a bright blue paint scheme. So what's the problem with this one? It's just a faded blue paint scheme, and I don't understand. I mean, it kind of sort of did pop under the lights, but in this photo, it just looks so dull. And also, I have a question about the hood of this car. Why they turn the mascot of Wendy's into an octopus? And yes, I've actually counted those legs. Those are 8. Listen, I may be the dumbass, but even I can admit that they turned her into an octopus. I do kind of like the idea of having the pigtails around the side of the car, but even then, it's not fully wrapped. I'll admit that. It doesn't look great. The yellow roof number is fine. I mean, it doesn't really ruin the paint scheme for me, like a lot of others do, but it's just, I wanted a simple scheme. We're in stage 1 of the paint scheme process. This is the most tame paint schemes where there's little to no flaws with these paint schemes, but it's just stuff that annoys me about paint schemes. But that is number 10 on my paint scheme list. Daniel Suarez's 14 car that he ran at Daytona. I just wish they didn't turn her into an octopus. Like, why? So for number 9, I have Ty Gibbs' SiriusXM car on this list. Now, there's nothing really inherently bad about this paint scheme, and as soon as I say that, I notice that the monster logo is behind the back of the car. It just looks out of place. But I'm not a big fan of the design of this paint scheme. I'm also not a big fan of the color scheme. See, I grew to love the SiriusXM cars 5 years ago because it was basically a base black with a light blue paint scheme. And in 2020, they went with a dark blue and black color scheme. I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of a step back. And then they went white the next year. And I mean, the schemes didn't look that bad, but this scheme, the Ty Gibbs one, just doesn't really work. I do like the roof number, but I just don't understand the design. It's basically the FedEx design that Denny Hamlin has, but it could have been done better. I honestly thought about putting a Tyler Reddick's car on this list, but the thing is, it's not a base white paint scheme. I don't understand why teams opt for base white paint schemes. Like, does that make you automatically financially sustainable? And also, another thing I don't like about this scheme is the highlight underneath the car. Like, what is the point of that? Like, I never understood the point of the highlights on this car, but it just makes absolutely no sense. And there's blue bleeding out on the A post. It's just a scheme that just confuses me in a lot of ways. Like, I wish this scheme was better, but it's also an inverse paint scheme. I should mention that, but it just doesn't do the job well. So Ty Gibbs' SiriusXM car is number 9 on my list. If I were to make it better, I would just reverse the colors back to what it was in 2019 and come up with a better design, I guess. At number 8 is our first Truck Series paint scheme of the night. It is Tyler Ankram's Lyuna truck, and can I just say, I do not hate the color scheme. The blue and orange was something that I was a little bit hesitant about going into this year, but I kind of grown to actually like the color scheme, so what's the problem? Well, the tiny problem that I have is the number. It just looks so awkward, but a big problem is the design. What is that? First of all, there's a white line on the bottom, and it's not connected to the other white lines on the other paint scheme. And what's worse is that there's an outline in dark blue. It doesn't connect to anything except for the dark blue. I wish they would have moved the white down to where the other white is. Make it all connected. Like, what's the problem with connecting a paint scheme? And the reason why I say that is because his teammate did one better. So this is Jack Wood's Klotz car that he ran at the season opening race at Daytona. This scheme looks really, really cohesive in a way. You see all the lines are connected, all the colors are connected. You can see everything is just awesome. But if you look in one of the photos, you'll see a certain truck behind it. Yeah, it comes full circle now, doesn't it? But anyways, Ankram's scheme is just not one that I enjoy. It's not a good scheme at all. I wish they would have made the design better. And also, there's no design connecting to the front bumper. That just, why? What's the point? This may be a hot take, but I actually do not enjoy Ty Dillon's Rackley War truck. Honestly, I don't understand the direction of this paint scheme because there's blue on the hood and then it's surrounded by white. And then you see the blue in the back and then you see blue on the bottom. Like, what was the direction in this paint scheme? Personally, what I'd like to see Rackley War do better is move the blue from the bottom upwards and just have that design. And so that way you can make it cohesive. Just all about cohesion. Cohesion is key to paint schemes. You don't want to have schemes that just don't have lines lined up because that would make it an eyesore in a way. But it's just such a directionless paint scheme. I don't understand just why. The number font looks good, but nothing else about this car or truck looks good. It just sucks that for their 50th anniversary, they roll up with this scheme. Number 6 is just a paint scheme that I just don't understand. This is Jebediah Townhouse Burton's Norma paint scheme that he first raced at Phoenix with, and going into the race weekend, I was like, what is this? What is this paint scheme? First of all, there's red highlights, and it just looks like a bloody mouth. It looks like Tyler Reddick's car when he hit the outside wall at Atlanta. It just, and another thing that I hate about this paint scheme is that there's some black on the paint scheme, but there's dark gray on this paint scheme. They kind of just go hand in hand in a way. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't have made the scheme, all black, just replace all the gray, the dark gray with all black. Like, that would have actually been better in my eyes. I love red and black paint schemes. Ross Chastain's Being Moose paint scheme was on my list, spoiler alert, but this scheme, it doesn't do it justice. I don't like it. And the design on the sides are just so weird. What is this angling of the paint schemes? I'm convinced that these sponsors manipulate designers into thinking that they're the worst designers on the planet. Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. It needs to be said. Alright, so for number 5, we are now in stage 3 of the paint scheme process, Stewart Friesen's Chili's truck. This is a paint scheme that just does not need to exist at all. Like, what is the purpose of this? Like, first of all, what is that on the base of the truck? Like, what is in the background of the 52? It looks like a tray sheet or something like that. It looks like just a bunch of ads just placed on a truck. It's not good design to place ads on a truck. Like, if you want to place an ad on a truck, there's many ways of doing it. This is not one of those ways. Like, nobody wants to see that. Like, why? The spoiler works, the colors work, the background just doesn't. The background does not need to exist on that scheme. Why was this even a thing? We're plummeting new lows in paint schemes every single day. Even Corey LaJoie or Justin Haley's Chili scheme didn't look that bad. I hate to say it, but it's true. A cup scheme beat this one out. I just don't understand. Who thought of this was a good idea? Was it the sponsor? Because if so, I want to ask them that they were on meth. So if you thought number 5 was bad, get ready for number 4, because instead of an advertisement, we have the next best thing. Packets. Daniel Hemric's circle car just looks unnecessary. It makes me just want to laugh and cry at the same time. The only positive about this scheme is the roof, and even the roof number, because the yellow matches some of the yellow on the paint scheme. But why? Why is this a thing? Just what is the purpose? Circle really, they really dropped the ball with this one. Last year and earlier into the season, Circle schemes were really good in my eyes. They screamed summer, they had bright and vibrant colors, but now they just include packets for some reason. And also the worst part about these packets is that they're cut off and it just makes for poor advertising. If you want to advertise different sponsors, go for it. You don't have to advertise 10 trillion all at once. Look at what Daniel Hemric did last year. No, not that. There it is. That's better advertising. This one is just poor advertising once again at its finest, and it just sucks because circle schemes are really, really cool. They're really, really colorful. They're really eye-catching, but this scheme is eye-catching for all the wrong reasons, and it just sucks. Number 3 is a paint scheme that is just insulting in every single way, and I understand why people like this paint scheme. Personally, I think this is way more overrated than it honestly should be. William Byron's Valvoline car just looks so depressing. This basically is the McDonald's effect. The gray base, like, I know Valvoline has used odd base colors in the past, but none more this depressing. Like, I never understood what was the point of this. What was the purpose of a gray Valvoline paint scheme? Why? And also, another thing. Look at the bumper of the car. It looks scary as hell. It looks like the Valvoline logo flipped on another angle. Well, flipped to the opposite way. And it just doesn't look that good. The side of the car looks okay, just the red and the blue, I don't know. But I keep hearing people say that this car needs the yellow numbers. Personally, I do not think they need it at all. We don't need any more clashing colors than there already is on this paint scheme. I understand how we've gone from Valvoline schemes that look like this to this. This is just insulting in every single way imaginable. Like, none more this depressing. This looks like a McDonald's car. However, there's one that they did better and late in the season. The Valvoline confetti car. I love this paint scheme. The dark blue, it immediately catches your eye. None of that gray stuff, dark blue. Personally, Valvoline has been more of a dark blue color for Bugatti and Larson more of a red. Personally, I think this car fits and I love the confetti on the sides. I like this scheme a lot better than this. And also, what is that on the back of the car? It looks like police sirens. Ugh, that scheme is just horrible. And now we're at number 2, where this paint scheme makes me irrationally angry. This is John Hunter Nemechek, Skip Barber. What in the world is that paint scheme? Like, I'm serious. What is this paint scheme? There's no direction with this paint scheme. There's 2 different lines. There's lines that are inverted. Okay, where do I even begin with this paint scheme? You have the stripe on the top, which looks cool, but then the stripe on the bumper is flipped and it's in a different size. At least make them the same size and make them, you know, in a better form. And also there's bars on the side that just are so unnecessary to put on. This is one of the ugliest looking cars that I've ever seen from Legacy Motor Club. Legacy had a lot of questionable paint schemes, but I gotta say, this scheme takes the cake, in all honesty. And Skip, I would like to make a proposal to you. If you run this paint scheme, then nothing happens. I'm at a loss for words at this Skip Barber car. Just, what is paint scheme making turned into? Like, sponsors are all in charge, and they're all manipulating these designers into being the worst designers possible. I feel bad for every single designer that makes paint schemes for the Cup Series right now. And number 1 is the bane of all paint scheme existences. Justin Allgaier's Dollar General Hellman's car, whatever that is, this abomination of a paint scheme ran at Nashville, and just, it's too busy, it's too hectic, and is that toilet paper or a book on the side of the car? I mean, it looks pretty cool, but I don't understand the direction of this paint scheme. Why? Why is there yellow on white? Why is there a yellow thing on the bumper? Why is there no direction with this paint scheme? Why are all the designs not cohesive? Why is the roof number seemingly different than the rest of the other yellow? What is this paint scheme? What are paint schemes in general, honestly? And it just bums me out. Personally, what I like them to see better is just a base yellow paint scheme, add some black, just a simple Dollar General car. But no. There's one way of advertising correctly. This way is not the way. There's even checkered patterns underneath the toilet paper. Like, there's too much going on with this paint scheme. This paint scheme is extroverted at its worst. And I say that as an introvert myself. And that's it for number 1. I'm ending it here. So I'm recording this on the night of November 10th, hours after the championship race, and if y'all are wondering what my opinions are, then go see my posts on YouTube about it. But yeah, once again, I had to make these adjustments to YouTube because I've been getting copyrighted for stupid reasons. So that's cool. Absolutely lovely. Let me know what your favorite paint schemes are down below. And until next time, take care of yourself.